So this is on a daily chart. So I always start at a daily chart when I look at things. And Jake, I know Robinhood doesn't have a lot of ability to look at charting, but what I would do is open up a TD Ameritrade account, put $10 in it, and then you have access to Thinkorswim. Actually, I don't even know if you have to put any money in your TD Amer or your Thinkorswim account. I think you can just open an account and have access to Thinkorswim. And Thinkorswim is where you can analyze charts at a more granular level. And so one of the most important indicators that I look at for speculative names is RSI. So I mentioned it last week as well, but it kind of just tells you, yeah, it kind of just tells you how oversold or overbought something is. And so obviously you see at the bottom here, their initial spike, overbought, it came back down. Let me zoom in here. It went from like 6 cents all the way up to 18 cents, overbought territory. It kept going up, kind of hovering around this overbought. And then right here, super bounce, overbought, came down, and then another big bounce right here. And then it pulled back, started still like hovering around here, this area. The red is when it's overbought for context. And then some news came out and they popped up super high. And so obviously they were pretty significantly overbought at that point. And so you see the stock sell off pretty significantly. It tried to rally back up. It failed to break the top. And then it was in oversold territory again. And then that's where you see it start selling off. So right now, RSI looks pretty healthy because it's a lot lower. It never entered the oversold territory, which is I feel a little hesitant on with these super speculative names. But here's some more positive insights. So these 3 lines on the chart are SMAs, which is simple moving average. So these track how close is the current price to the average price. This turquoise line is 200 days. So over the last 200 days, the average price for this stock is 66 cents. The purple line is the 100-day. So over the last 100 days, the average price is 121 cents. And over the last 50 days, the average price is 172 cents. So the 200-day SMA is something that you look at for long-term view. So it's pretty positive that it came down pretty close here and bounced off. We put a trend line in here real quick. So we put a trend line from here down to here. So obviously this was in a downtrend. It came pretty close to this 200-day and then bounced off, somewhat bounced off, and now it's here. And so when you look at charts, you want to look at when past resistance was. And so when we look right here, this is a lot of sideways action. So this is called accumulation. And so this means there's a lot of buying and selling going on. And so now that we broke out, that means there's a lot of buying right here. And that's why it broke out. The people who bought here sold off here. It pulled back. People tried to push it back up and then it ultimately failed. And so probably in this price range to this price range, there's going to be a lot of resistance right here at this ironically enough, that's how the market always is. Ironically, there's a lot of resistance here at the 100-day SMA. And then there's a lot, and then right here, there's going to be a lot of support because there's a lot of support on the chart here. And so I'm just guessing here, but if biotechs keep pushing a little bit, I can almost guarantee you it's going to hit this purple line and come back down a little bit. And then if there's a lot of positive movement in the small biotech names, or if they release news that's really important, it'll probably break above this purple line and then search for the next resistance point. So if we look at the chart, the next resistance point is probably somewhere around right here. I'm just gonna put a mark right here because there's 2 points back here. So here's like another resistance point, and then guess where the next resistance point is? At the 50-day. How ironic again. So just looking for these areas of accumulation tells you where there's future resistance. Where there's accumulation underneath the current price is telling you where there's support. So right now we're hovering around that support line. If it can hold around this 87 cents, that's a really good sign. If it breaks below, you're going to want to look for a test of this 200-day. And if it breaks below there, you're looking for the next place of accumulation and support, which is right here. So the next support area is going to be around 40 cents. So anything like this is super speculative. There's a lot of risk involved. And so just put that as your kind of like North Star is there's a lot of risk with this name. But all that being said, if you want to buy now, put a stop loss at 87 cents because it's probably going to come down to 66 cents at this 200 AMA if it breaks below. But if it keeps moving up, look at 121 range. If it breaks above 121, then it's probably headed to this 135 to 148 range. But anything with these super speculative names, if this is not a stock that you really believe in long term, then I would suggest putting stop losses. So that's a little insight on ZOM for you.